Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm Laura Hopkins with 7 Oily Days, and I am joined by my wonderful friends, Joy Ballard and Melinda Haak. And I've asked them to join us tonight because we're going to talk a little science. We're going to talk testimonies, and we're going to, of course, talk Young Living essential oils because that's how we met each other. We met each other through Young Living, and this year is I will celebrate 20 years with Young Living. It's hard to believe that I was 5 when I started. So so we have had and many of you on this call tonight. I know you because of Young Living. How wonderful is that our lives and our paths have intersected. But Young Living is an essential oil company. It started in 1994 by Gary and Mary Young, and many of you know that. But I would encourage you who don't know to learn more about, the startup of Young Living Essential Oils. But tonight, we're going to talk about something that is not an essential oil. We're going to talk about Young Living's new balance and burn system, which is a GLP-1 support that Young Living just launched on January the 10th at their New Year kickoff. And Joy and Melinda were two people that were able to start using it early. They had helped enroll people during the fall months and got an incentive package that they were allowed to try this early. So congratulations to both of you for being selected for that and earning that privilege. I want to real quickly tell you a little bit about these two ladies because they may look like just your regular beautiful women, but they have superpowers. And so I say regular, like, yeah. But I want to tell you about them both because they have some pretty powerful testimonies as well as expertise. So I'll start with Joy. She and her husband Clint are passionate homesteaders, entrepreneurs, and parents of 5 who built a thriving 40-acre farm in New Blaine, Arkansas through intentional teamwork, complementary skills, and shared commitment to self-reliance and real food. 10 years ago, the Ballards traded an intensive urban homestead packed with raised beds, bees, rabbits, chickens, fruit trees, and the occasional illegal goat. I love that part. For a slower, more purposeful country life. Raised on a 165-acre Missouri farm where he milked cows and tended a small herd with his father and brothers, Clint has deep agricultural roots. He has deep agricultural roots and spent 21 years in the United States Army. Now, his beautiful wife, Joy is a nurse. She's an RN by her profession and is a masterful, and that's no slack in that word, masterful artisan in the kitchen. She transforms the milk from their dairy into approximately 500 pounds of artisanal cheese each year, along with other products. Together, they supply fresh milk, cheese, and eggs to 150 local families each week. The homestead also features an expanding elderberry patch, growing fruit orchard, and also her home office is kind of like walking into a naturopath's office. She has just about everything. And I got to tell you, when I go there, I feel like I know I'm going to be taken care of. Let's just put it that way. She teaches classes. She is well versed in essential oils and all of the things at Young Living. And I want you guys to welcome Joy. What a gift that you took time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Thank you, Joy. All right, let's hear from now Melinda. Melinda Haak, also a fantastic educator. She's one of the biggest blessings to Northwest Arkansas. She is always doing classes. She's always teaching. She's actually working now when she's got her degree. And let me read it because she has gone back to school. She's raised 4 kids. They're starting to leave the home, get married, go off on international trips, and be all over the world. But look at her. She still looks like she's 20. So she takes great care of herself. She is always a product of the product. She began her journey with Young Living, like 12, 13 years ago? It'll be 13 years this year, right?
13 or 14 this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So she is an incredible inspiration. Tell me more about your degree that you have recently earned and what you're doing nutrition wise, because I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah, I'm an integrative nutritional health coach, not the same as a nutritionist. But I can work in any sort of doctor's office, clinic, naturopathic doctors, actual physicians, nurse practitioners. Like I'm licensed to work with all of them or certified to work with all of them. And I kind of take like the whole person. So it's not just nutrition, but lifestyle, a lot of nutrition. Like how do we make this doable for the average person? And how do we live healthy for the average person? Um, yeah, and I went down that road because of our own really complicated allergy issues in our family. And so I'm like, I wanted that sort of help and couldn't find it anywhere. And so I went and got my degree in it or got a certification in it.
You
And
got the
yeah, I can
certification. You
now,
probably got the degree over the last decade of
well,
helping
I can
children,
consult
probably.
with people with specialties and they don't make fun of me anymore. So
No,
they take me seriously now.
they do. Well, I've always taken you seriously, and I'm so glad that you could join us tonight. And we're going to start with just a brief understanding of what balance and burn is. I'm going to be reading a little bit here, a great explanation, a write-up that I saw today that I thought really explained it well. I've added some things here and there to explain. And Joy and Melinda, like I said, if there's anything, I'll take a breath here and there. You can just jump in if there's anything else you wanted to add. But this is an explanation of what balance and burn is for. And just for those of you who are not familiar with the term GLP-1, just to understand a little bit what it is. And a lot of people are using it for weight loss, but it was not necessarily designed. The medications were actually designed, GLP-1, we produce it, and it's a hormone release in your gut. And it actually helps your intestinal tract, and it's something that's supposed to help with stabilization of blood sugar. And the challenges with the what's on the market and what a lot of people are using is it's these synthetic forms of it, and it might last. It makes GLP-1 release, or it might go for hours and hours, versus the GLP-1 that's naturally produced in your body is a short term. And so, right after you eat a meal, it's designed to kind of help, get your body to use what's getting into your bloodstream, the glucose. You'll hear that word a lot. And it's what GLP-1 stands for is glucose-like peptide. And so peptides are proteins. So it's, again, a hormone, peptide hormone that's released and supposed to do its job. But we know a lot of people in the United States, a lot of humans around the globe now, because we're exporting our food, are dealing with over an excess of glucose in the blood, or blood sugar. So one of the problems with these synthetics is that, just like any synthetic, it does its job and it might be considered a miracle. But when people get off of it, they're not really changing what they're eating. They're not really making healthier lifestyle changes. They're not doing, even, your stress levels affect your blood sugar, as I found this year. And for those of us who've gone through perimenopause and who are going through menopause, that is something that's really a serious thing when it comes to regulation of hormones. So there's no silver bullet, and people will continue to look for them. So we don't even know long term what the effects of people using these over the counter and prescribed GLP-1 drugs are going to be, because we're starting to see people now. I heard a report. I was driving the other day, and they were talking on the radio about GLP-1 and how people who get off of it are gaining weight back faster, 4 times faster, because it's messing with your natural body rhythm and hormone release. So a little bit about, are you guys good with that? I'll take a breath here if you have anything to add.
I would just add that I think it was in 2023. Melinda, is that when we went to Florida? 2023?
That was 2021.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Which time?
When our family, I think it was when
The
our
family
families went to
vacation
Florida.
one? That was
Yes.
2023.
Great.
Yes.
So I burn really bad, and there is a hormone in your body called melanin that helps you not burn. And there is a peptide that stimulates your body to produce melanin. Okay, so in the same way that like the GLP-1 peptides that are like taking the world by storm right now. Like, ooh, it's natural. It's a peptide. Y'all, that peptide that I took that was natural, prescribed by a doctor and injected into my body is still wreaking havoc on my hormones. Like I am still digging myself out of the hole. And I took it I think daily for 2 weeks. And it is still nearly 3 years later a problem in my body. So these peptides, all of them, okay, especially the injectable ones, uh, you need to approach with caution, okay? And you need to approach with caution. Lady in our church, in my church, actually ended up with a colostomy bag from a GLP-1 medication. It stopped her gut so much that she ended up with basically her digestive system rotting, and she had to go get massive surgeries down in Texas. So, okay.
That's horrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And what people are trying to do is trying to have a solution. They want solutions for maybe issues that they've had and can't get past. One thing I think is also important, people talk about diet and exercise, and that doesn't work. And I've tried, and I do it for a while, but there's so many other things that are affecting your weight and your hormones. And so I love the fact that within this balance and burn system, we also have a community of people who are, encouraging exercise and healthy eating and water, but also addressing our emotions and addressing our stress levels and addressing our sleep and our hydration, because that's everything that we already talk about. Now we're adding this component. And I think those of you who are joining us tonight, and maybe it's your first time on this call, but that's what we pretty much talk about every week. Whenever we have these calls, is we're encouraging you to be holistic in your approach. So, what is balance and burn? So balance and burn is Young Living's answer. It's their GLP, the glucose-like peptide system that Young Living has come up with. And I think it's interesting, it's been a GLP-1 has been kind of trending for a while. CBD was trending for a while, and Young Living is always a little slower to that market response, I think, because what we're wanting to do is bring something that's valuable, that offers real solutions, that's not gimmicky, and that's gonna be truly natural. That's gonna be sourced in a way that what you're getting is not like what Joy said, that she thought she was getting something natural and it wasn't, and now she's continuing to have negative side effects from it 3 years later. So the two parts of it, balance and burn, we have the balance and care powder is something you take in the morning. Joy, Melinda, tell us a little bit about like the taste of that, how you take it. Is it just in water, warm, cold? What do you like it?
So it tastes a little bit like a grape, very mild, not super sweet. If you've ever had like Amino Wise or something like that, that powder's very sweet. This is not terribly sweet. I prefer it in water just because putting that dry powder in my mouth, imagine like you're putting an entire pixie stick, like the volume of a pixie stick in your mouth. Not my favorite thing, and I was actually going to ask you, Laura, because I'm not 100% sure. I take my pills with it and slug it all back down together. I'm done is better than perfect. And if I wait until noon, the chances of me actually remembering to take those pills at noon ain't going to happen. So I take it all together, super mild flavored, and I actually really like it.
Okay, very good. Yeah, they do recommend that you
Well,
take the powder in the morning and the capsules at lunchtime, but if you're getting benefit from it that way, then you take it the way that works for you. but that is what they're saying is when you start out for the first time to do it. But I'm sure taking it all together. I know when we did Sleek, that was the same thing, the Sleek packets. They said to take it, but there were times that I just took it all together too, because I knew I wasn't going to have opportunity later.
And I know for me, I don't like it in water. So everybody, you have to try it a couple of days one way, try it a couple of days the other way. But like Joy said, it is not super sweet. It's got a sweet taste, but it's not like, gag sweet. Um, and then I like to just drink water afterwards. So just play around with what you like best. And I tend to take my pills right after breakfast. So I get up first thing in the morning. I'm always thirsty when I wake up. So I drink some water, then I pop the pixie stick, drink some more water. I'm a big mineralized water in the morning person. I like to add a lot of mineral essence to my water first thing and drink like a lot of water in the morning. And so I do the pixie stick, maybe like 16 ounces of water. I eat my breakfast and I eat a pretty heavy protein loaded breakfast. And then I'm usually running out the door for work. So I've taken to just setting my burn next to where I keep my purse before my backpack for work before I run out the door. And I literally have to like knock it over to get my other stuff. So for me, that's helpful. Just doing a system that helps you. So like, if you're like, I will not remember, do it all together. But I do find for me, I've played around with a couple of different times of taking it. And it seems to work better for me like mid morning. So, like it seems to help me all day long if I take it a little bit later. So again, really, and that's what I emphasize in my nutrition coaching. You have to figure out what works for you and be willing to play around with it just a little bit. I don't really recommend taking it after lunch. It's not going to do you. I mean, depending on if you eat 3 meals a day, whatever, try and get it in before lunch.
Okay. And I'm seeing here that Joanna's saying, yeah, it is definitely fine to take it together as well, but definitely before midday. Do you feel like does it give you the energy boost? Is like, what is that feeling after you've taken it?
I'm not a good judge of that yet because I've only been on it for 5 days and I started it 2 days after I came back from China, also trying to flip my time zone. So don't ask me that question yet. I'm just now getting back on my feet.
I
I
get
love
an
it.
amazing.
Ask Joy that one. I mean,
I get an amazing energy boost from this product. Like,
Okay.
Young Living used to have the electrolyte energy drops, and I was in love with that. And then they did away with that. And this product gives me a sustained energy boost superior to nitro. And
Oh,
that is saying something.
yeah.
Like it's not buzzy. I'm not shivery and shaky. Like, I've got some real issues with adrenal fatigue right now, and I've had to come off coffee. And so caffeine and I are not good friends. And this does not cause the quaky feeling inside. Um, and so honestly, I have been delighted, beyond delighted with the clarity of thought boost, the energy boost, and I generally don't crash. Normally I crash at about 6:37 at night, like flat on my back in bed by 7 o'clock at night. And this evening I used my energy oil because I had a really long delivery day with the farm. But I'm staying up till 9, 10 o'clock at night and feeling really good.
I love it. I love that. Okay, well, we are I want everyone to hear that because the ingredients, they're specifically ingredients that are helping with energy makers. Actually, I'm going to read you just a little bit about the first, the powder. We talked about the powder. And the powder has the ingredients. Let me get my ingredient list pulled up here. The Akkermansia, which was a fairly new, something I was, just becoming familiar with. The Akkermansia is the primary ingredient in the balance and care stick. There's also agave inulin, allulose, soluble tapioca fiber. You'll recognize that because the tapioca fiber is also what's in our daily prebiotic fiber. And that is one of the bundles that you can get for those of you who did the bundle together, the daily prebiotic fiber. That's something that I love and take every day because we know that a healthy gut is going to be a healthy immune system. Healthy gut is going to be good for your brain and every other system of your body. We know your second brain. But another fun thing that's in the powder is wolfberry. And we all know how fantastic wolfberry is because it's our Ningxia wolfberry. And you can also get a bundle with Ningxia Red and the daily prebiotic fiber and the balance and burn. And so again, we're looking at the whole picture. So energy is important, but also gut health is important. And that's what I love is that Young Living's looking at it from a bigger perspective. All right, now I want to talk to you a little bit about the capsules because they mentioned, taking the powder and then taking these capsules. There's one burn capsule and what they call two control capsules. And they're not control like I'm doing a science experiment and I need a control. It is the control is the name of them. And the control capsules, this is something that's really going to be your blood sugar. That's going to have they're your guard against what someone said is your glucose roller coaster. They have absorbable ingredients, so it's going to have berberine, and I'm going to talk just briefly a little bit more about that here in a second. Then Gymnina sylvestre. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, probably not. And then R-alpha lipoic acid, chromium picolinate, and a touch of ginger. So whenever here's an understanding of kind of how it works. And this was something that I pulled from Destination Diamond. Deborah Rayburn's page has this. So those of you who want to go and see it, it's all written out for you on Deborah Rayburn's Facebook group. But this man who wrote this out said, this is how it works. In my opinion, berberine should be one step for all diabetics. It's a powerful metabolic switch that strongly activates AMPK, which is your body's master energy regulator. I'm also going to mention here that GLUT4, that is the insulin regulated glucose. It's a transporter that's found in adipose tissue and striated muscles. So your adipose tissue is that the things that sit on top of your gut and that really aren't affected a lot of times by diet and exercise. So it's the things that kind of tend to build up, the adipose tissue that can actually even intertwine with organs and can be very, very unhealthy and lead to a lot of other problems like cardiovascular disease and very adipose tissue is what we really want to avoid. And it's harder to avoid the older you get. So when this AMPK, that master energy regulator, lights up, it tells your muscle cells to shuttle that GLUT4, which is the glucose transporter that targets your adipose tissue, to the surface. Okay. And GLUT4 is little vacuum pumps that suck glucose straight out of your bloodstream and into your muscles where it can be used for energy instead of drifting by and getting stored as fat. Because we do not want to store fat, right? We want to use it and burn it in our body to utilize it. This is the exact same pump that activates during exercise when your muscles need fuel. So the AMPK is the same switch that the burn capsules use nudge, but it's just a different angle. So it's holistic. It's kind of coming at it from multiple perspectives with the AMPK and the GLUT4. Now that R-alpha lipoic acid, it jumps in to help burn that incoming glucose for fuel right away rather than letting it linger and turn into new fat. I'm all for that. And then chromium picolinate makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, so your body needs less insulin to do the same job. Insulin insensitivity is where diabetes starts. And
And
then,
I want to add, can I
yeah,
add something
yeah,
right
yeah,
here?
please do.
So if you've been a part of any of the reset groups over the last 2 years, what you will remember is one reset builds on the next reset, builds on the next reset as your body heals. If you've used the daily hormone essentials, when we were at convention, they told us you have to use this product a minimum of 3 months. Really, you need to use it for 6 months before you know if it's going to work. Okay. So insulin resistance, which Melinda teaches an amazing class on insulin resistance. Like, you're not going to fix that overnight.
Yeah.
So this product is not a 1 month product. Okay. You're not going to know if it works for you in 30 days. Okay. If you start taking it and you don't lose an ounce in 30 days, keep going. Chances are your body is struggling deeply with insulin resistance. And all of these products or all of these ingredients, the chromium picolinate, is beginning to heal the insulin resistant problem that is the root of what you've got going on.
Yeah.
So it's not a 1 month product. My suggestion is a minimum of 3 months, probably more like 6 to 9 months.
Mm-hmm. It's, you can't expect, again, this is not a magic bullet, and things
No.
have, we are doing the deeper work.
Yes.
And I would echo that as a, nutritional coach. You can't just fix things in 1 month.
You're not going to fix insulin resistance in a month.
No,
Right.
no, not at all.
And I will tell you too, we see results with oils. I know people that take oils to lower their blood sugar, but they're not changing their diets. And that's the same thing. We're not trying to put a band-aid on something. We want to get to the root cause because we want long life and to have longevity. So using this time as and doing, when Joy mentioned the resets, there are multiple resets that happen. We have a January metabolic reset that you guys can jump in and join. So there's multiple people on here that are in that group. So if you see somebody in this group that you see their name, there's 25 different people right now on the call. If you see someone right now, you could say, hey, message them, can you get me in the group? I want to join that metabolic reset. And there's also a Facebook group for the Burn Balance and Burn Collective that Sarah Wallace is spearheading. And so those are opportunities for you to get in there and talk with people about it. You're not on an island. If you have questions about something, get in there and ask it, because what I'm always going to do is also point back to, we're doing this for longer term. You want to keep track of your blood sugar, or maybe you're tracking your ketones. I know a lot of people do that too with intermittent fasting. So whatever you're doing, start tracking it. If you don't already have blood work then at least do something. Get a glucose monitor, get something that you can start looking at it and have real numbers to go, this is working. I may not see the effect right yet in my body or my clothes, but your internal registration is something's switching, something's changing, something's moving in the right direction. Then also looking at, well, at the very end, I'm going to talk to you about associating the organs like the pancreas, and targeting that from an emotional standpoint as well. Looks like, Dominique, did you have something to add? You raised your hand.
Yeah, so I am not a nutritional coach, and I just need a quick lowdown on what insulin does and why it's so important as like one of the first hormones that we need for balance and everything else. I heard that at the Young Living Convention. As someone who doesn't really know the science, I just thought, oh, insulin, diabetics, right? So I just think, oh, people with diabetes are the only ones who need their insulin taken care of. Turns out, no, that was the first time I'd ever heard that. So can you just give me a quick lowdown on why it's so important, what we're doing here with the insulin?
Sure. Well, insulin is, we hear the word insulin resistant, and that's basically your body is, and I don't necessarily believe we're resistant. It's just your body's not able to do what it needs to do to get the insulin in. And the way it was explained to me, and Joy and Melinda can correct me, but on a cellular level, you have, when you eat things, your body produces glucose, and your body is fearfully and wonderfully made to be able to produce the insulin, that its job is to go up to the cells, the cellular receptors, and it's the key that unlocks the cell to allow the glucose to get into the cell. And so the cell can take in that and use the sugar, and have the energy and do what it needs to do. It's not a starving cell anymore when it gets fed. The insulin is the key that unlocks it. And the idea behind it is, a lot of times our cells get gunked up. If you think about a lock, like a padlock, and you have the key that goes in it, but it's rusted and you can't, the key won't work. That's the same instance. I have the insulin for the cell, but it's rusted. And what happens is, what rusts our cells? Well, we want to have antioxidants in our lives, right? Because it's anti-oxidation, anti-rusting. So we get oxidation happens from food. It happens from pharmaceuticals. It happens from a lot of things, stress. It also happens from negative emotions that we've held on to. So that is why insulin is, even though you might not see it in a younger body, may not see the insulin issue. And it's not just people who are obese that are dealing with insulin resistance. We see my dad, who was bike riding and doing a lot of exercising well into his 70s, was dealing with diabetes. So there's it, and he was not obese by any stretch of the imagination. He was long and tall. So it is there's a lot of misnomers about insulin, and we all need to be regulating our insulin and being mindful of what we're eating and feeding our children for those reasons. And then also making sure that we're anti-rusting. What's the other word? De-rusting our cells. So I'm going to let Joy and Melinda chime in on that one.
Yeah, I mean, a good way for, as a mom, that I describe insulin, is insulin and blood sugar are two different things, but they go hand in hand. Insulin is a hormone. And so, I've heard like, oh, we shouldn't have insulin. No, you'd be dead. Kind of like you'd be dead without insulin. That's why type 1 diabetics have to take insulin. But it's like when, I still love cinnamon rolls. I just don't eat them for breakfast anymore. But when we're eating, we used to do a lot of Lucky Charms for breakfast, Pop-Tarts, like that was a standard pre-Young Living at our house, to eat a lot of sugary foods in the morning. And basically what that does is your cells go, okay, what am I going to do with this? And you spike like a roller coaster. Well, over time, it's kind of like when your kids are like, mom, mom, mom. So your insulin is you. Your kids are the sugar that the body is trying to figure out how to manage, because you're doing this all day long with your blood sugar. And after a while, the mom, like Laura said, the rusty key, it just starts ignoring it because it doesn't know what to do with the overload of it. It hasn't figured out how to regulate its nervous system. It doesn't know what to do. It kind of wants to hide in the closet with more chocolate. And so that's basically kind of like what happens when your insulin levels just slowly start creeping up. And again, you can't fix it overnight. I mean, they talk about the frog experiments. It's a slow, if you throw a frog in a warm pot, think of that as like your insulin. It's going to take time for that to come down, which is why when I'm working with people with insulin resistance, I say 6 months. Like, you need to give me a solid 6 months, not 3. 3's a bare minimum. You take your A1Cs at 3 months.
Right.
So to really begin to reverse insulin resistance, you have to fuel your body differently and teach your body how to not live in this constant state of like roller coaster. Would you think of like how many of our kids have ADHD, and how many of us live from, I mean, I don't anymore, but I did, like coffee cup, coffee cup, coffee cup. And I need And I think of like, Joy is a nurse and any other nurses or shift workers, and my husband's a truck driver. The more exhausted and less sleep you get, the more your body also does this. So sleep is really important. The more stressed out you are, it's not just taking a GLP-1 supporting product. And that's what I really want people to understand is like, you can pop the pixie stick and the pills, but if you make no other changes, truthfully, you're wasting your money. You're just flush it down the toilet. It's about the same effect.
Well,
this
I want to, I want to say
clarify?
something to that. I'm actually going to push back on that. I don't argue with Melinda very often, but I'm actually going to argue with her.
This is good. This is good.
Two things I want you to know. One, if you live in Arkansas, and actually if you live anywhere near a Quest Labs,
Yes.
you can now order your own labs online. You don't have to go through your doctor. So if you're kind of like us, you don't carry normal insurance and you don't want to have to go into a doctor's appointment and pay for that and pay a copay plus the labs, y'all can get on Quest Labs, Google it, and you can order your own HbA1c. What does that tell you? That tells you what your average blood sugar has been over the last 90 days, which is what Melinda just alluded to and why she says 3 months bare minimum, because you will not know what your blood sugar has done for at least 90 days.
Yes.
From the start to 90 days, that will be a good measure. So if you're interested in metrics and you love data like I do, like I geek out, go get your HbA1c checked. And 90 days from now, get your HbA1c tracked. I know for a fact there's a lady on this call who tracks her blood sugar every day, and her blood sugars are coming down for the first time in a very long time. And she's only been on the product right about 2 weeks. So she's already seen difference, but she tracks day to day. Okay. Number 2, something I have noticed this week, and Melinda's been talking just a second ago about stress. Okay. I've got 2 kids in college. My other kids just started back to school. I still have a daughter home from college. She just went to Costa Rica. I've been keeping the roads hot. I traveled more than 1,000 miles in my big white van last week alone. Okay. So lots of stress, lots of crazy. Haven't been making the best food choices. But in the last 2 days, y'all, the foods I crave or the foods that taste good to me have started to change. I was not able to finish my entire Chick-fil-A meal today. I ate 2 French fries. That's unheard of for me. Okay. Just keeping it real.
How long have you been on the product, Joy? 3 weeks?
I started on the 1st.
Okay. So at least solid 2 weeks.
12 days.
I've only been on it 5 days. Yeah.
12 days. And it is changing what my body craves. And the reason I think it's doing that is because it's changing how insulin functions in my body. And the other thing, and we didn't dive real deep in this, but the Akkermansia, like that probiotic, when you support healthy bacteria in your gut, you change what your body craves. Yes. Okay. So I love the fact that this just isn't impacting GLP-1. It's actually causing a physical change in my digestive system. And what's really interesting is in the last 6 months, before I even knew about Balance and Burn, I'd been researching Akkermansia.
Oh,
what it did in the body. Yes. And I'd actually tried a couple of products that had Akkermansia in it, and it kind of freaked me out because I wasn't hungry. Like it shut down the food noise for me. And I was like, I don't know if that's good. Like, And then when Young Living came out with their product, their science, their explanation, it was like, okay, this is a product that I know is safe and I can take. Because remember, I've had a really bad experience that I'm still paying the penalty for, right? Like I'm a little gun shy. So all of that to say, get yourself some labs so you know if it's working. And it's okay if you don't change everything all at once. It's okay if you don't have the gumption to, get on the bandwagon with your diet right away. I have not seen crazy amazing drops in the scale. Okay. My friend who's on here, she lost 6 pounds in a week. Okay. I haven't seen that, but I also haven't been
Wow.
super disciplined with my food.
Good clarification. Yes.
Okay, so insulin's not the thing that undoes the glucose. Insulin's the thing that's supposed to pair with it. You're just not supposed to be spiking it all the time. So now I have a better understanding of what it is and what it isn't. So thank you for clarifying that. And all that really works well with what I was trying to do. I think I had one other question. I'll type it in the chat. Thank you.
And I have I'll post this in the 7 Oily Days group. I have a really good sway that Rhonda Favano actually put my class into a bite-sized sway that is got graphics and pictures. Mine was very academic. So I'll pop that into the 7 Oily Days Facebook group, because it's actually a really good explanation of the difference between blood sugar and insulin and real basic lifestyle changes that are helpful.
And I know from personal experience, there's a difference between type 1 and type 2, but even from a perspective of the pancreas, that's where your insulin is produced. And so supporting your pancreas, so looking for oils that are supportive of that. And also, a lot of us are we use our enzymes to help us, the dietary enzymes that Young Living has. And there are some pancreas type A piece or whatever. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there's anything with a ASE is usually, that's an enzyme that's going to help. And there's there's one specific for the pancreas. So if you deal with a lot of blood sugar issues as well, I highly recommend, I'll look it up here because I'm trying to remember which one it is. I don't want to say the wrong one. I'll look it up, and as we continue to talk, and I'll have that one by the end of the class. Tanya, we're going to keep answering your questions and everything here at the end. I want to go back and just kind of fill in the blanks of what we were talking about before. We can, let me see here. Let me pull up my other ones. The notes that I have here regarding the capsules, the burn capsules. So we talked about the control. The idea behind it is that we want blood sugar to stay smooth after meals. We want glucose. We don't want it going into fat. We want it going into your cells. Joy talked about this, that cravings will chill out, that you're going to feel satisfied with your meals. You're not going to be having starvation issues. You're not going to be having the cravings. And then also muscles are going to get the energy that they need. So again, with the metabolic resets that we're doing, we're not just eating, taking these pills and sitting down. One of the cool things with the metabolic reset is that after every meal, we do 50 squats. And so you're getting that movement happening.
Yes.
So you're putting forth some effort. Some people are going out and walking. On top of that, it's part of the metabolic reset. So that movement is really, really key as well. And then your muscles are using it right away, which if your muscles are using it, then the body continues to put it where it's being used. It's not just going into the fat storage. The burn capsule is needed to kind of, what he says is just to get our bodies to light the fuse. They are the nudge to get the fat out of storage mode and into your engine. Well, think about that. If you're talking about fuel, you don't fill your trunk with gasoline. You put it in the tank, and the engine is designed to be able to get it where it needs to go. So that is what we're doing here, is the polyphenols that are from the citrus oils. It's pomelo, grapefruit, and orange. It also has guarana, green tea extract, black ginger, and then essential oils that are warm, like bergamot, cinnamon, and grapefruit. And it says that it boosts the levels, a key signaling molecule that activates pKa, which is the ignition switch for fat breakdown. pKa tells enzymes called hormone sensitive lipase to act like 1,000 microscopic piranha, biting off fatty acids from bigger molecules of stored fats. Then these little fatty acids are shuttled directly into your mitochondria. We all know how important that is, which are the tiny energy generators that power cells. It's like shoveling coal into the Titanic steam engines. So a lot of word pictures here. So it's really important that as we're understanding that all of these things are doing, I'm appreciative that Young Living went to all of the trouble to find out what all these things did, and that there's no contraindications, and that they're working together, because the result is the stored fat gets accessed and uses energy, even while you're not like necessarily working out. And then you have a steady boost in energy through your calorie burn without getting the highs and the lows and feeling like you've got the jitters from caffeine. Less fat on your waistline over time. They want to clearly, we have some people that are going to lose quicker than others. It's all about your body chemistry and what you're doing in addition to taking the pills and eating right. You're going to get energy boosts, and there's no crashing or racing heart. It's just science tapping into your natural fuel. I like that. Okay. Oh yeah, Charlotte. Charlotte was at Pray Celebrate Dream this last weekend in Houston. You can unmute yourself, Charlotte. And I would like you. I know Talia Scott she did a presentation. Talia Scott did a presentation. She's 2 weeks from tonight. She's going to be doing a presentation at for Sarah, and she's going to be sharing more of what she shared then. And so and Charlotte, I'm trying to unmute you. I'm asking you to mute. You can try. But Charlotte is also an RN. So I'd like her to step in and have whatever she wants to share. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, thanks. I literally just got home and then unpacking my suitcase because I have to work tomorrow. So I'm on mute for several reasons. Mainly, I have no clothes on.
Okay.
So the one thing, and I did get here a little late, and you guys may have already talked about this, but even as a nurse, because this isn't my area of nursing, when people talk about GLP-1 and Ozempic and Mounjaro and all those wonderful medications that we all want to take and put into our body, I don't really understand the mechanism. I need to understand the mechanism. So Talia really broke it down, and she really explained what the Akkermansia does. And I think for anyone who understands what it's doing, you can then go and explain it to someone else to try to encourage them to take it. So that's my main thing from her was what the Akkermansia is doing. And so Akkermansia is going to go into the mucus, because the real name of it is Akkermansia mucilans something, right? Some big long scientific name. So it's going to go into the mucosa of the intestines and eat it. So it's eating away the mucosa that's in our gut. And what that does is that triggers the body to start making GLP-1 so that it can replenish the gut, basically, so that you're shedding, it's like when you have a menstrual cycle, you are bleeding because you're shedding the lining of the uterus. So this is like helping you to shed the lining of the intestines. So with that, she said, because of that, it can slow digestion. And that is why Young Living is pairing it with daily prebiotic, so that they're helping you to keep that digestion moving. And that, if you end up finding that, hey, this is really affecting my digestion, you may need to kick in some Comfortone and ICP and things like that. So that was the main thing that I really got out of her talk that I haven't heard you say. You could have said that before I came in. And the one thing she said is that GLP-1 is a natural hormone in the gut that turns off the hunger ghrelin. So that's why everybody's having a decrease in their food noise. And what she said is Talia lives in Louisiana and she had to drive to Houston. She said, the minute I get in the car, like it's just a thing. When I get in the car, I munch. And I munch until I get to where I'm going. I go into a truck stop and I buy $30 worth of stuff and I eat junk. It's just what I do when I drive. And she said, I got in the car. I didn't eat any snacks. My husband said, do you want such and such? No, not really. And she said for her, that's like a Christmas miracle because she never drives without just eating, eating, eating. And so she said it really is reducing her food noise.
Mm.
The more GLP-1s that your body signals to make will help the pancreas respond to the glucose.
Mhm.
And so, and then you guys, I think, said all the rest of the stuff. But it was just learning what that Acromancia is doing is really helped me to understand and be able to now go and explain it to more people.
Yeah.
I did ask Dr. Tamara Como, because she was there, and she said well, definitely if you're pregnant, not to take it, but she also would not recommend it for breastfeeding moms.
Yes. Did see that.
But you guys pretty much said the rest. And she just kept saying function over force. When you take those injections, you're forcing your body to do something it's not supposed to do, and therefore you don't have function in the body.
Okay.
Minimum 90-day protocol, like you guys said, but 6 months is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. That's all I
Thank
had.
you. Thank you for sharing that about the Akkermansia. Yeah, we talked about some of that at the beginning too with the GLP-1, but it's what we're going to start seeing is people having these little testimonies of what it's doing for them. So keep sharing those. That's why it's important that we're doing this together, that you're not in a vacuum connect with everyone. The product is vegetarian, it's vegan friendly. So it's not just even vegetarian, it's one step further. So there's no animal products used in it. That meaning that it would be kosher as well. Corn derived ingredients, it says that allulose in it is derived from non-GMO corn. Which is interesting because Melinda has that you can't usually have corn. So, okay. There's soy in the formula, but it's manufactured. There's no soy on the formula. Sorry. But this product may be manufactured in a facility that uses potential allergens. So you can just check all that out later. If you have a specific allergen, from soy or sesame and all that kind of thing. It has 25 milligrams of caffeine, and that is from the guarana extract, but it's gently designed to support metabolic activity and energy without the jittery stimulants. Each packet that they have has 30, so it's a month supply. It is not available. I'm sorry, it's available in Canada only. Other international markets were available through NFR, and that was today, January 12th, except Indonesia, South Korea, and China. It's not available yet in those markets. So, can it be used with other products? We had the question. Tanya asked about using it with daily hormone essentials. That is actually one of the products mentioned as a companion product. Young Living has combined this is a bundle, so you can get, we mentioned earlier, you can get it just the balance and burn. You can add daily prebiotic fiber to it, and you can also add the Ningxia Red. So it just keeps building better, good, better, best product bundles. And then also recommend companion products are the whole body cleanse. So that's the powder. Another one that I throw into my water in the morning with my mineral essence. Life 9, which is your prebiotic. I'm sorry, your probiotic. Your daily hormone essentials for those of us who are taking that on a regular basis, and then your pure protein complete. Melinda mentioned extra protein That's also going to help with your metabolic, your body and your metabolism is being heavy on your proteins. Okay, the system is ideal for anyone wanting to have blood sugar levels that are healthy in the normal range and having a healthy body composition and a balanced gut and healthy microbiome in your gut. Um, Looking to see if there's anything else in the FAQ that I haven't covered. It is formulated for adults. So keep that in mind. It's meant to be used daily and every day before noon in your time zone. Um, let's see here. Can it be used with other weight management related prescriptions and medications? This just says consult your health provider. So I think that those were the main ones that I know are typical questions. I'm going to look in your over here. It looks like Joy has and Melinda have answered a lot of these. Those who can't do squats can do knee raises. I like that. Um, will balance and burn help you maintain your weight and keep your mass on you if you're working in that direction? So basically, if you like that, if you're at a healthy weight and you want to maintain muscle mass, yes, it will do that. With the improvement of the activation of the mitochondria, it will boost muscle function and thereby tone. Good answer. Do you have to take the prebiotic for the balance and burn to work? Um, you would not get the full benefit of the Akkermansia.
I misunderstood her question. I thought she was asking, do you have to take the pixie stick for balance and burn to work? She was
Gotcha.
asking, do you have to add daily prebiotic fiber for balance and burn to work? And no, you don't, because the pixie stick actually has fiber in it.
Okay.
The daily prebiotic fiber is just extra.
Right. So if you're feeling sluggish, like what Charlotte mentioned and what Talia was saying is that the Akkermansia goes to work. It's basically helping to remove the lining of your the gut and helping it to move through. Kind of a gentle cleanse is kind of what I'm getting from that. And so what I would recommend is if you are already have good function, colon function, try it without it first. But ultimately you would probably have higher results using the daily prebiotic fiber. I use it on a regular basis, and I don't. Bowel movements aren't a problem for me. If you struggle with that, if it's a chronic issue for you, I would say adding the prebiotic fiber might be a good idea. Try it and see how it works for you. Also, increasing your hydration. Your colon can get dehydrated. So, making sure that you have enough water is also going to be really helpful. All right. Any other questions?
I want to add one thing to that discussion of bowel movements.
Yes.
I have a client who tends to have diarrhea. And guys, I am the ultimate skeptic, okay? And I'm going to put these products to some rigorous testing. So this client is on some pretty heavy duty psych meds. And if you know anything about psych meds, these people really struggle with weight gain. Okay. And this client struggles with diarrhea. And this product has actually regulated this person's bowels. And they are having 3 healthy, normal, formed, but soft bowel movements a day.
Wow.
And this person has lost at least 3 pounds. And this person's serving sizes, it's been reported to me that the serving size has dramatically decreased without any oversight of this person's parents. Like, it's not the parents telling the person to stop eating so much. And this person used to graze like all day, every day. Like if the bag of chocolate chips was on the counter, the mom told me the person would go by and like just eat a handful of chocolate chips.
Wow.
And it's kind of like, why are you eating chocolate chips? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
So to say that I'm impressed would be an understatement. Like, y'all, I'm impressed. I haven't been this excited about a product since I first got introduced to oils. Like,
Oh,
this has the, if this product can cause someone who is on the meds I know this person's on to lose weight, that's big.
that's awesome.
That's big,
And what does that do for mental health? What does that do for overall well-being?
right?
Mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health.
And this person's just 12 days in.
Wow. It's
We're
awesome.
not even 3 months in. We're 12
Yeah.
days in.
Love it.
So
Well, on that note, I told you guys I love that testimony, and I can't wait to keep coming back. We need to keep telling our stories, stay connected. There is the B&B Collective. If you want to be on it, you can send me a private message if you're not in there already. Sarah Wallace has created that. Get in the January Metabolic Reset, something that goes along. So we're drinking our Ning Sherbet every day. We're looking at the foods that we're putting in our bodies. There's meals, there's foods, there's all kinds of information out there. There's people that are doing this that you can ask questions. It's a very supportive community. And I also want to leave you with the specific oils that you can, I just keep going back to, I love this book. The Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. I think I use it every week on this call because I want to make sure you guys are always looking at the emotional root of challenges, looking at things that are happening. And you can look up emotions and the way you're feeling, but there's specific oils that are recommended for the pancreas. And I just wanted to go through those really quickly. Citrus Fresh is an oil that's recommended for the pancreas. It's related to the emotion of not wanting to be here. Think that one through. Also, forgiveness is for the pancreas in regard to the emotion of betrayal. And you can look it up in these. I'm not going to go through the details of where everything goes. If you don't have this book, you can email me 7oilydays@gmail.com and I can give you the details. But this book is something you need to have in your home library. The pancreatic duct, there's two oils for the pancreatic duct. Humility in relation to the emotion of being tired. And then the spearmint, which is related to lazy. So start with those. Young Living is doing they're doing the challenge, a 60-day challenge with Balance and Burn, which we already know 60 days is not enough to start the product or to really get the full benefits to see, but use it for 60 days and see what can happen. And so Young Living is working on that. They're doing an incentive for the people who see the biggest results from it. And you can get connected with, get on the website, Young Living's website, and you can get the link to that, or get on 7 Oily Days Essentials, or get on the Balance and Burn Collective. The link's going to be there. Go out and find it. And then also take measurements. Joanna, take measurements before starting. That is what the challenge tells you to do. Take your measurements. Let's do that. Let's have really hard numbers that we can look back and then we can share with people, taking photos, all of that. Sometimes photos don't tell the whole story. But I like it when you can wear the same clothes and see the different way that it fits. And then, yes, Joanna, thank you. The Citrus Fest Vitality is the loyalty for the loyalty oil for 100 this month. So if you've already purchased on your product, you can purchase Balance and Burn. How awesome was it? We could put it on a loyalty order for this month and get your points immediately for it. That's something Young Living has never done. I mean, this was the most smooth launch that I've ever seen Young Living do. They did a fantastic job of giving us access to it beforehand. They did a fantastic job of communicating and educating it. And then of course, we just about broke the internet, but we didn't. It was the biggest. It was bigger. This Saturday was bigger than any Black Friday as far as traffic on our website, and we did not break our internet page. Things are going well. They must have given it the website some acromancy or something to be able to handle all that. All right. So, ching, I got a joke. It's been an hour. This is longer than we usually do it, but wasn't it worth it to stick around and have your questions answered, to hear these testimonies? I am so glad you guys stuck around, and we will be back next week with every month. This year, we're doing the first week of the month is going to be from the Ultimate Balance Book Club. Next month will be February, and we're going to be talking about the bladder. We already covered the kidneys this month. We're also going to have every month, we're going to have the second week is going to be some kind of topic that's relative to what's happening. So this was Balance and Burn because it's new and fresh. We're going to have the third week of the month is going to be either an essential oils class, thieves, or Ningxia. We're going to rotate those three. And then the last week of the month is going to be a gather. I'm going to encourage you to get people into your home and either watch a video or teach a class. And the gather this month, the theme is going to be raindrops. So last month we did VitaFlex. This month is raindrop. They go hand in hand really well with all the things that we're talking about. So I will have I'm pressing myself to get my new raindrop video done in time for that on the 26th. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, Melinda and Joy, and thank you so much for the time, energy, and your testimonials. It was so great. Appreciate you guys. See you next week. Good night.